Welcome, folks. Welcome back to the Red and Tera podcast. Again, Red's
Harris, what's up? Good to have you.
Yeah, it's good to be back on episode number 4, I think it is.
Yeah. They're flying in, aren't they?
This is like 10 years.
Well, now, yeah. So look.
Right, so
actually, I have to say, fair play to everyone that's tuned in so far and that's been giving feedback and all that shit. It's obviously, to be honest, I'm sure you're the same, Red. I don't really care about the views on this. We're just trying to get it up and running, get a bit of momentum. We've a few different ideas of what direction we're going to take it as we go along. But fair play to everyone. We're getting loads of people on to me going, when's the next one, you know, which is, it's reassuring to hear it, that you're kind of, at least someone's listening, you know what I mean? So fair play to everyone, you know. And again, any topics or anything you want, just fucking hit us up. So, Anyway, what were you saying, Red?
I was actually in the car today listening to Noel Boylan's show, and he had a guy on that was he was kind of basically trying to justify the banning of, well, he was trying to say not banning of it, but that's where it's leading to, of the To Kill A Mockingbird. You know, them sort of books that shouldn't be taught in schools, because this guy was talking to 2 families who, you know, were uncomfortable with it. And what do you think about all this kind of banning of books?
First and foremost, I don't think you should be banning anything. Like, do you know the way they ban, say, Mein Kampf? They tell you can't read that. Like, you should be allowed to read it. Why the fuck shouldn't you be? Why shouldn't you be allowed to learn from the mistakes of others, or even to be able to try and see what was he talking about? So, like, I've heard a few stories in terms of like To Kill A Mockingbird and books like that have kind of a very old age racial undertone, where they'll say things that were of the time.
Yeah, it's written off the time.
Yeah,
that's
I know.
The thing, though.
Yeah,
people are going to come back in hindsight and say, "Oh my God, these words are very racist." And I was like, "Well, that's how it was back then."
Yeah.
It's the whole point of them. It's the whole point of.
You're backdating your modern view on life. You're backdating it to them times, which is stupid. We only thing on it is, I know they're probably great pieces of literature, but like, could you not in a school scenario, say, especially like in Ireland, a lot of the schools now would be very, very culturally mixed, you know what I mean? So why have something from the 60s or the late 1800s or early 1900s? Why are you reading those books? I know they're culturally and literally probably very, very well made books, but surely there's more recent topics.
But it's not even the topic. It's how they're written. That's
what I'm saying.
Because it's timeless. I mean, we're not timeless, but it's like it's important that you learn from history. That's like
I get that.
You know, so, and that's what it is. So you're kind of, and because they're so well written, that you're learning grammar, you're learning how to punctuate and how to, you know, narrate a story, and you're learning how to do all that sort of stuff.
But say my argument would be, right, Shakespeare, for instance, right? Who the fuck wants to do the "Hark, thou art thy love of mine, divine life," and like that? That's not for kids growing up today. Now they'd have very, very little concept of that old.
But they don't teach that.
But
they don't teach that.
Well, I read Shakespeare in school. We learned it, but the style of writing and the stories, right? They're timeless. So there are modern versions of Shakespeare stories. Like, you'll see a movie and you'll see like the undertone is the King Lear or whatever, you know what I mean? You'd see that story, father tries to kill son, blah, blah, blah. So you can do a modern version of it. So
why?
Oh yeah, why? But
to appease these people that are like,
we do things all the time. My argument would be, in the case of the Mockingbird thing, you shouldn't ban the book, the concept, everything. It's timeless. Leave it there. Do a modern version of it if you want. Change it.
But you can't, because the modern version of it will be so watered down.
Oh yeah, but
you can't touch it.
Yeah, because you can't own the book.
No, but that's so. What? So basically, what I'm saying is, should we be telling these head cases to fuck off, like?
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? Oh, it's offensive. You live. Everything's offensive. There's always something defensive to everything. You know what I mean? Just you don't do it. Offense has never killed anybody. If you don't like it, just tough through, because that's what life is like. It's a life lesson.
But it's always this free speech you get back into, isn't it? People want to tell people what they should be allowed to think, what they should be allowed to read, stop fucking telling people what they can and can't do.
And the irony of it is what they're doing is they're the ones calling everyone else Nazis when they're here trying to ban free speech, trying to ban the opposition from speaking. They're burning books. They're showing up and stopping free speech events happening, or people speaking a certain, like, they're literally using fascists. Well, here they're pointing the finger over there saying these are all fascists. And I say, well, if you look at what's happening, just to take away the topic and just look at the actions. Who's the fascist league? Is it literally the fascist league?
Well, speaking of that turning up and calling people fascists and stuff like that, what do you make of the whole John Waters thing? Now, for anyone who's not aware of the preempt to it, there was this whole March for Innocence where people were going against Thatcher, blah blah blah, and they want Roderick O'Gorman to step down. So they done this march outside the Dáil. John Waters, now, I've very little interest in him or what he does anyway. I haven't watched any of his movies or anything, so no opinion on the guy. I don't know his background, so there's no prejudice or bias in the opinion on this. I thought he gave a very rousing speech that resonated with me anyway. He was talking about what he was saying. I thought it was very important and needed to be said. And there was an anti-fascist element to the movement that came to the protest. They came and they tried to disrupt things and made a bit of a scene or whatever. That's all well and good. But then a week later, he does a complete 360. Or 180, I should say, not a 360. He'd be back with.
You say John Waters or John Connors?
Or John Connors, sorry, not John Waters. Fucking John Connors.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, so I know he's done lots of good work for the travelling community and equality and stuff like that, but I don't really know too much about him or whatever, so, whatever about that. But what do you make of that?
Really threatened.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, I mean, again, I'm not a huge fan of the guy. A lot of stuff he talks about with the traveller community and stuff like that and all, and it's like all these sort of, and this is not just at him specifically, it's like all people from those sort of organizations are, where it's kind of like, oh, we're just being oppressed, and we're just like, and it's like, well, the stereotypes that are lent to you is that you are calling racist. They didn't fall from the fucking sky. Do you know what I mean? You have a part to play in it. Like when travellers aren't allowed at book out venues for weddings, it's not racism. It's because you have a history of smashing up fucking pubs and these are going to weddings. These are renowned for it. It's a stereotype, and not every single traveller, but it's like if you see a bunch of skinheads going around smashing up the place for a while, and then a different bunch of skinheads come in, you're not going to let them into your public. Not because they didn't do anything wrong, but that's just how we go. So little things like that. When I find, like, that's one thing about John Connors, when he's having these kinds of discussions, he never kind of hold on a second. I understand that, even beforehand, maybe it's not the same now, but the travellers were, selling the camcorders, and then you buy the camcorder and there's a brick inside it and stuff.
Everyone's got done with that, haven't they?
Exactly. So that lends
to be honest,
itself to the reputation.
That's just going up like that. That was a cool part of the Irish nation or whatever. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm not.
I never really.
I'm not
separate from us, but look, they've had a whole history of oppression, blah blah blah. Not the.
No, what I'm saying is that's just my take on the likes of John Connors.
Well, I think he's done good work in terms of bringing the plight of travellers and the hardships that they do face, and like that. You've heard stories of, you know what I mean. Life isn't all great.
Oh, look, a lot of time for travellers.
Brought a lot of good attention to it. You know what I mean? Like I would have never paid attention to it, except for not even just him. and I haven't paid that much attention. That's probably my own fault, but he definitely has brought it more to the forefront of Irish minds, I think. And I think over the last few years, there probably has been good steps made towards equality within travelling community and the broader community at large. But that's beside the point. What do you think of?
No. See, what I was saying is, I'm saying, like, this is one of the reasons that, like, if there's a bit of kind of disingenuous to when I've seen him talking about that sort of stuff, because he doesn't acknowledge the bad, and there is bad, and he refuses to. It doesn't. The stereotypes not. He didn't fall from the sky. Don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean you should be bad to travel. Like, I've never met a traveller I didn't like. To be honest with you,
yeah. Well, look, just to kind of interject there, that's the one element probably of the whole BLM thing that really fucking annoys me. It's like there's no it's almost like ignore the black on black crime. You bring up black on black crime, it's like, oh, you're a fucking like, no, there is, you know what I mean? So there is, you have to recognise all aspects of your own mortality.
The reason they do the racist thing is because they don't want to have these arguments. They don't want to have. They don't want to. It's agree with us or else. Because you don't want to sit there and they say, well, because I mean, I remember I brought that point up, and what I was told was, yeah, but they're not killing each other because they're black. And I was like, but how do you know the cops are doing it because you're black? This is one thing I've never got an answer to. And you know what I mean? And it does, like, and then I'll be fobbed off with a stupid, like, well, unless you're black, you never know. I was like, well, I couldn't use that on you. Like, well, okay, well, if I get stopped by a police officer or a copper, how come it's just because he's a dickhead copper? But if you get stopped, it's because you're black. You know what I mean? So when they're saying about these, like, this is the BLM thing, it's like, they're coming after us because of black. Is it because you're black? Or is
the George Floyd, the George Floyd incident, right? I know your man Derek Chauvin or whatever was the main culprit, but there was an Asian cop, a black cop, and I can't remember what the other guy was. It was a mixed mash of cops that bleeded.
Yeah. And even the George Floyd thing, I got a few people mad when I asked them as well. As a genuine question, where is the racist element of that murder? I mean, we all know it was murder. You know, obviously it was definitely murder. He definitely killed that guy. But where's the race? Is it only because the copper was white and George Floyd was black? Is that it? Does that mean that's the racism part? Or was there other things leading up to it that, you know, this is what I'm saying. So when they're using all these sort of things, they're saying, but is it not like just, like, yeah, the cops, some dickhead cop did this to someone who happened to be black because they also done it to people who happen to be white, a lot of times more often, and more often to Hispanics. You know what I mean? So you kind of start delving into it.
If you want to delve into the conspiracy aspect of that, on the same weekend that happened.
Well, no, hold on, before we go back, we'll jump onto that, we'll finish the John Connors, and then we'll jump onto that.
All right, yeah, well, come here, yeah. So John Connors, he does a roundabout. He comes out and says that there was elements of the movement for that march that were right-wing, and he didn't want to associate himself with it. And he's done a full backtrack, full apology, didn't want to be associated in any form or fashion, blamed mental health, and bounced, basically.
Yeah, no, I definitely think they rang him up and they're like, oh, you have a new movie coming out, or you have this in the pipeline. You know what I mean? Because he was, of all the people that were criticising, rightfully so, Roderick O'Gorman, he was one of the bigger names, so obviously he was getting the most retweets and the most tweets, and then he done the speech, I will never back down, and then to back down a week later. And it doesn't matter if there's right-wing elements, whatever that means, if there's right-wing elements in the protest, well, then you just denounce the right-wing element of the protest. They may agree with us, or they may be using this agenda for their own gains, blah, 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 but I'm genuinely concerned about this as a citizen. Yeah. You can still do that. And and if people want to try and link them two together, let them do that, because they're going to do it anyway. But once you let the important people know, not the bleeding, loud minority, every average day say, yeah, look, wherever these guys are shouting this racist stuff, wherever that, like, if they're what, I didn't say this, I don't know, but I'm saying, if they were shouting racist stuff or wherever, I don't associate with that, I don't agree with that, they would be, you can't help who shows up to, to certain things, like, so if they agree with this topic, they probably agree with it for a different reason. But I agree with it for this reason, and this is why I'm here.
Well,
but the fact that
pure neutral, right? Pure neutral, of no opinion on it one way or the other, right? If I'm to look at his at face value, his redaction, say, right, is it a very noble thing for someone to say, look, I was wrong, I believe I was wrong, I didn't realise at the time what I was saying was incorrect, I was standing on the wrong side, and now I've had time to reflect. I feel like I need to disassociate myself from this. I need to draw a line under. I shouldn't have attacked this person. I sincerely apologise for it, and I have mental health issues that I need to go and deal with, and that's why I got drawn in, and this is why I'm stepping back, apologising, and I'm going to move on from. Like, is that a noble thing to do? If it's genuine, if it's a PR stunt, or if it's someone got to you, it's a little bit disingenuous.
Listen, I don't see how it could be that, because it's so quickly.
I'm just trying to play the new.
I understand, and like that's fair thing to do.
Would it be like if it was that position where he was like, look, I'm realised I was hoodwinked, I shouldn't have said what I said, and now I've stepped back from it. Is that an honourable thing to do? Is it an honourable thing that you done if it's genuine?
Well, but if it's genuine, of course. If you're genuine, if you find out you are wrong, it's actual. What you're supposed to do is change your mind, and that's what's the problem.
I was on board with it. I was on board with it until the mental health stuff, and then I was looking at it going, right, mental health is a big issue, and there's lots of suicides in Ireland, and males are the main, so I get with that. But the way it was done just looked a little PR-y. And in the mental health, people would clap you on the back. And the very people who came out and clapped them on the back were the people who were all attacking them and attacking everyone as right-wing, fucking whatever they were calling people, alt-right, anonymous troll, fucking whatever, you know what I mean? So if it was genuine, fair play to him, but it just didn't look it looked a little PR-y to me.
It wasn't. It can't be like changing your mind that quickly, because he was so vehement about it. I mean, me and you have discussed it, and we kind of have our opinions on it, but he went so far as to
stand up and give a rousing.
Yeah, and go to a lead. I mean, I didn't even go to the fucking to the thing. He went and done a speech on it, so he was balls deep in it. So here you go, from balls deep to all of a sudden, oh no, hold on a second, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
what are you sorry for? Are you sorry that?
The fact he was there, though, maybe he's seen something. He's seen something at that me or you wouldn't have seen, because we weren't there. We only get the filter through Twitter or Facebook or whatever.
You can apologise to Rodri for it, because he's still done what he done. He's not innocent in it. So you could still, right, look at Joe, well, as I'm not associating with this group of people anymore, like I shouldn't have done that thing. This happened, I wasn't aware that this is what it is, I'm disassociating myself with that. However, Roger Corman has got pictures up with you, and then he called us all right-wing homophobes, as opposed to concerned parents criticising a minister, a government minister. It's his job. Like, we are entitled to criticise him. So if we're going to criticise him, and now we're going to be called right-wing homophobes because if we weren't homophobic, and I'm pretty sure, unless being anti-paedophile is right-wing, I don't know. So most of the stuff that I see online was just people saying, yeah, what's the story with this? We need answers. We need them to reply. This is not wrong. We don't agree with this. This should be looked into. This should be investigated. All this sort of stuff. So I didn't see anybody, any of the tweets I seen. Now, I'm not sure it didn't. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying that the vast majority that I seen weren't, oh, I get this. There's none of that. So I don't know where he got that. So for Paddy Connors, that should have amped them up even more.
Paddy Connors.
Sorry. You got wrong. We should call this the shit name show.
Come here, I am fucking
everyone's name up.
Dire at names. Considering I fucked up the name at the start, John Waters, then to lead into a slightly different topic of discussion. So he gave a bit of a talk. I don't even know if it was a talk. I think someone just videotaped him while he was talking. He might have been outside a court or something. He normally is. But talking about wearing face masks. And now I know the connotations that come with mentioning the name John Waters obviously leads you to Gemma O'Doherty. And I'm sure we'll instantly lose every follower we've ever had if we start talking about Gemma O'Doherty. So to try and jump over that, I noticed when I watched the video, and it was very interesting what he said. but I kind of just left it at that. Not that I dislike John Waters or dislike Gemma O'Doherty. It was just kind of like, whatever. But it's been picked up a lot in America. It's kind of jumped over the waters, and a lot of big names in America have kind of jumped on the video and said, brilliant from this Irish gentleman, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, so they don't know that he's attached to Gemma O'Doherty, so there's no bias in what they're saying. They've just taken it on the merit of what he's spoken about. So did you see the video, and what's your opinion on it?
Didn't see it. Elaborate.
Basically, to sum it up, he was saying that to cover your face, it kind of dehumanizes you a little bit, and when you see someone with a face covering on, it's kind of an aggressive, intimidating thing. So it was kind of like, well, everyone is being kind of dehumanized, walking around wearing these masks. It's to make everyone, you know, you can't see anyone's facial expression, so there's no human connection there, and it's basically pulling everyone further apart. Everyone's walking around wearing a face mask. You're just seeing eyes. You don't know who you're looking at, who you're talking to. Basically, the disconnect of humanity.
Yeah, bit of a reach.
Yeah,
bit of a reach.
You think?
Yeah, it's not like that's a bit now. Like,
I went into a shop earlier.
We're justifying something. Like it's like, you know what? For me, the mask thing is simple. If you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. If I don't have to. If you're wearing a mask and I'm not, it shouldn't be an issue. If you're wearing a mask and it doesn't work, you shouldn't be insisting I do. So it shouldn't be that much of an issue. There shouldn't be mandatory. There shouldn't be an argument over this. If you have a mask on and I'm socially distanced from you, it's virtually impossible for me to pass COVID on to you. Virtually impossible. If we both have masks on, okay, it's probably impossible. But it's ultimately it boils into my choice. Well, if I decide tomorrow to wake up, Joe, fuck, I'll wear a mask. I'll wear a mask.
Red, you're just not doing your patriotic duty. You need to put that fucking mask on. You need to do what you're told. You need to follow orders. It's mandatory. There's no law. It's just mandatory.
No. Right, here's my answer to that. Yeah. Because who are we doing this for? These people walk around wearing masks that are talking about, look after other people. No, listen.
Yeah.
They're sitting there and they're like, you should be wearing a mask. You don't care about other people. And you're sitting there going, oh, really, Rhonda? I remember in March you were walking out there with a trolley full of bog roll. Didn't care that nobody else go out the hole. Didn't care that nobody else had any toilet roll in the gaff. Oh, really, Mary, over there with your fucking your trolley full of baby milk? You weren't really concerned about the other kids there when you were fucking stocking up, making sure you were all right. But now I have to wear a mask. Suck my ginger balls all the way down to the nuts. Oh, right in the middle of them. Go in the middle of them, up to the tip. I don't care. I don't care what you think.
Graphic. Very good.
Well, you have to let these motherfuckers know. I just don't care what they think. I don't care about their opinion. If you want to judge me for not wearing a mask, fine. I judge you for being a dickhead. And then
the shit is like, you're responsible for other people's lives is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. How am I responsible for your life? How am I responsible for it? How can you put that responsibility on? If you put that responsibility on me, I will accept full responsibility, and bitch, you better be waking up at 6 a.m. You're going on a 5k run. You're eating fucking kale and celery for the next 3 weeks. Am I responsible for your life? You have a smoke in your hand, I'm going to slap you in the face. You know what I mean? How responsible am I supposed to be for your life? If I just come into within 2 meter contact of you for a millisecond, am I responsible for your life? Fuck off. Take responsibility for your own life. You want to wear a mask? That's cool. I walked into a shop today. I was the only one in the place without a mask on. And to go back to what John Waters was saying, all I seen was eyes looking at me. But the eyes looked aghast, like, oh, he hasn't got a mask on. But they couldn't put into words. They wouldn't be able to verbalise what that even meant. You don't have a mask on. And what? Is everyone in danger in here? Like the guy behind the counter has a mask on. He's behind 2 foot of glass. Is he in danger? Am I in danger? It's so fucking stupid. So stupid. There's no way.
They won't even think for themselves, and that's what's it's like. Well, the government says, but the government have made a balls of everything. This is the government that we hate this government.
Man,
we hate them. We hate them with everything. Why is now?
I looked at the government.ie, what they say about masks. Yeah. So they say masks are required. There's no legislation for it yet. They're making legislation, but masks are required for an indoor setting, unless So the unless is virtually your way out. There's so many in it. I can't breathe. Man, I've broke my nose too many times. I can't breathe with a mask on. Simple. If you feel upset or uncomfortable wearing a mask, man, I feel uncomfortable with this thing on my face. I can't wear it. If you have any sort of a disability or anything like that, man, pick a disability. I probably have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anxiety, fucking anything like that. So you get out of jail ad nauseum on it. There's no problem. You can pick whatever one you want. But I don't need to be walking up into a fucking shopping centre and some guy with a mask on telling me I can't come in and I have to explain myself to him. Motherfucker, get out of my way. I'm going in. The only reason you're allowed open during the lockdown was because you're an essential service. So you provide essential goods. I have a right to purchase essential goods. You can't deny me that right, especially when there's no fucking law or legislation to back why I shouldn't be allowed in there if I haven't caused any harm, damage, robbed, done anything like that. So this is the shit that's annoying me. Every time I go in, I have to explain myself. You don't. That's a private information. My medical history is none of your fucking business. I don't need to explain myself. So it's annoying me that so many people are walking around just wearing the mask, just conforming, even though, you know, most of them are like, I don't want to wear it. I'm walking around that shop. I see cunts looking at me like, how the fuck did you get in here without a mask on? Because I walked in and I said, I'm wearing a mask. What you mean? But there's
I done it the other day. I was in the local supermarket. I'm not going to name names because I don't want them getting money out of me fame. But yeah, no, so I was walking, and I just walked in. I see this whole mask because I haven't worn one at all. I was just oblivious. I was going to go to the Centre, but they didn't have what was I getting? Mince. I done a nice lasagna. I did. Mince, M-I-N-C-E.
Right.
Mince, made nice lasagna. But yeah, so but didn't have any in the Centre, so I was like, fuck, I'll just walk over to the other shop. Oh, I nearly said it there. Royalty thing. No, so yeah, so I went over there and I just poured in, just walked in, like, and there was some fella ahead of me that was getting the hand soap thing, and then the security guard was here, and I just squeezed it with the two of them, just kind of potting about and got me bits.
I never go near that hand soap. Fucking, your fingers bleed bone in your artery. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I just like I just. What I say is, if everyone else is doing their bit, if you're doing your fucking, like, if you have your mask on and you've alcoholed your hands for the 17 times today, I'm not a threat to you. I may catch COVID, fine, but you won't. So you're grand. Don't let me worry about it. I'm willing to. If you're wearing a mask because you're afraid of being the 99.9% statistic of survival rate, and that's why you have to wear a mask. Can you imagine this part of the video being taken out, and in a couple of weeks' time, it's like, man who says I'm not worried about COVID ends up, you know what I mean, in hospital. You can just picture it, like,
well, no, just like beach. I'll be dead. I wouldn't care. Like, fuck it.
Yeah. No, it's hilarious. They'll use that one bit of anecdotal evidence that their fucking mother's brothers, sons, cousin, fucking, I know someone who gave out about it and then they ended up in hospital. You know, that sort of, you hear from someone like, don't be that guy. Like, I genuinely don't know anybody who's been sick or is getting sick. You look in Australia at the moment, they're locking Victoria down even further. It's like, what the fuck is going on? They're looking at cases and not deaths. That's just stupid. I'm sick of talking about this with you. It's like every time we're on here.
It's because they're going off the what you call it, the original numbers. That does annoy me because they're going off the original numbers.
Even though they've redacted them numerous times.
Yeah, but they're still on the news there today. They announced that there's no deaths and 20, which leaves the death toll at 1,004. It's like, no, it's not. It's only 300 or something. What are you talking about? You're 400 and fucking, or you're 1,000. It's not, but they're still going off that. And then that's what I'm saying, because people are watching that and they're kind of go, oh my God, there's still deaths. And it's like you're going to, and I wouldn't even mind, they're so cocky about the whole anti-mask. Like, I'm not even anti-mask. Like, for me, it's not a huge stance. I'm just not wearing them. It's that simple. But they're going on like, it's like, oh, crybabies, oh, I won't die, I don't want to wear a mask. And it's like, you're the one that's afraid. You don't get this end acting like, oh my God, look at this. We're afraid to wear a mask. No, you're afraid not to. That's the difference.
Yeah, you're afraid someone might fucking point at you or something.
Yeah,
that's it. Everyone going, the fucking mask muppet, like.
No, I say again, I don't mind. I don't care. I walk past them. If you have your mask on and that makes you feel comfortable, rock away, dude. Rock away. But again, don't, like, I feel comfortable.
I was looking at the CDC website, and they have COVID down in, I think it's phase 2 or a category 2 pandemic, which is basically the same category as the influenza virus. Like, literally, they don't even think this is anything to worry about in their own report.
They changed the numbers there as well. So Trump put a yoke out saying that he wanted to
all the numbers go through the White House, and all of a sudden they all drop back down, like
redacted down to like fucking down to like 10%.
What happened in Florida was they were only what they say they done. They were only counting positive cases. They didn't bother counting the negative cases. That's what they said. So they were only saying, oh yeah, we've X amount of cases, and they had 100% positive cases, because they didn't know, oh well, we tested 50,000 people and only 10,000 people, you know what I mean, or whatever the number was, like 40,000 were negative and 10,000 were positive. They were only 10,000 cases, so it was like 100% positive. Like, as soon as it goes through the White House, all the numbers start, everything back in balance again, is it? And everything, you know what I mean? Oh, there is no spike, like, it's quite not. If you have to try so hard to fudge your numbers, like, I'm less worried. I'm more worried walking out there. Like, I'm in the shop on my own, surrounded by people wearing masks. I'm more worried of being attacked or verbally abused by everybody in that shop who's saying I should be wearing a mask than I am of any mysterious virus floating around in the air. Like, you people that are stupid are more dangerous than any fucking virus. That's what I think.
Yeah, probably not worried about it. I invite it. Bring it on, bitch.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's more worrying to me. And I don't care about that either. But
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is. It's driving people, and then you see the videos. There's like the videos of the crazies going around, because this is what it's doing to people as well. Like that woman that went mad at the fella in the car. Have you seen that one?
No.
Oh, there was this basically. What happened was this fella was he pulled up behind this in traffic, like whatever, and he said that was actually was start kind of giving her all this stuff, and as he was seeing it through the whole back window, like. And then as the light went green up, that she drove over, but she pulled in a bit. So he pulled over and he rolled the window and was like, you okay? Like, and she's like, oh, you're supposed to stay 2 meters away from me. And he was like, no, but we're in the car. It doesn't matter. You're supposed, and she talked about was going to ring the police and all because he wasn't 2 meters away. And then I seen another video of some mad one with a bleeding measuring tape going around trying to measure how far people are away from her and her family and from each other and all that stuff. And she was getting pulled away, and she was screaming like, I'm trying to protect my family. And it's like,
people have lost their marbles. Like,
this is what you're doing. But you don't see people that have no mask walking around with fucking measuring tapes. Yeah. It's like, use of the crazies. Like, use have bought into the lie. And again, I think I mentioned this again last week or whatever. But it's people have this refusal to acknowledge that they're wrong. So they'll just write it out now. They are wrong about the whole mask thing. And not only are they if they don't want to acknowledge they're wrong, but they're so unwilling to acknowledge that they're wrong that they're going to project it onto the people who are like, oh my God, you're not, you have to do this as well. And I'm like, why? Because I'm doing it. I was like, well then you do it then.
Yeah.
Oh, but
I mean, the whole bend the knee thing, that's what fucking annoys me. It's like
everyone has to do it.
You're not wearing the mask, not because you feel like it's going to help people. It's a selfish thing. People are wearing it selfishly because they're like, I don't want to be picked out as someone who's not conforming. I don't want attention on me. I don't want to be attacked from my views. So I'll just do what I'm told. You know what I mean?
So and it's not even that as well. It's like you have to wear one. Why? The government said so. Okay. Did you vote for that government? No, but did you? Yeah, no, but did you vote for that government? Well, no. What the fuck are you listening to them for? Yeah. Because they ascertain power.
They come out and say it's mandatory, and then you look at the legislation, it's like, well, it's kind of required, but we've no legislation yet. We're working on that. And you don't have to wear it if you meet any of these conditions. And people shouldn't be questioning you if you're not wearing a mask. Like, it was on a shop window. You shouldn't be questioning someone if they're not wearing a mask because you don't know the reason. You know, it's like, so it's not mandatory. It's not law. It's not required. You know.
And can I just say also as well, another stupid thing about this is it's ironic that like it's like, oh, you don't have to wear a mask if you have like respiratory problems. But it's like if you have respiratory problems, you're most at risk for COVID.
Oh no, yeah.
That's how ridiculous. These are the people you're listening to. People.
They lock down healthy people. You quarantine sick people. You don't lock down healthy people.
No.
You know what I mean? None of this has made sense since the beginning. Oh, we're doing uncharted territories. We didn't know anything. Man, there's been pandemics, there's been outbreaks, there's been viruses for decades, centuries, whatever. You know what I mean? We don't know the data on this one, but everything they did went pretty much against standard procedure from the beginning. And they've contradicted themselves, and they fucking backtracked and changed fucking every time, at every step of the way. Wear the mask, don't wear the mask. It's anyway, off this subject. Liverpool champions. They got to lift the trophy. I have to say, man, it was a bittersweet moment for me watching it. Because you can just imagine what the atmosphere would have been like at Anfield there on Wednesday night after the match. And to see the lads, for the hard work they put in over the last 2 years, to finally get the trophy after 30 years, and it's an empty stadium that they're trying to generate a fake atmosphere for. And it kind of broke me heart a little bit. I was watching it going, man, it's great to lift the trophy, but it just doesn't feel as important as it should, you know what I mean? That moment, that celebration. Like last year, I was going to go over with one of my mates after the Champions League final just for the celebrations, just for the atmosphere, soak up the city, you know what I mean? We're loving to do that this year, but, you know.
Fun though, to be honest with you.
The league has been won for a long time, but it was a little bit bittersweet. It just didn't have the same fucking feeling to it that it should have.
If it's any consolation to you, like 3,000 Liverpool fans showed up and bet the head off each other outside the
right.
Anfield. Like the true scouts, you know what I mean? Like,
fucking, I commend it, brilliant. So Villa, fucking lifeline, Villa. How are your shitty jocks going to be?
Probably.
Don't wear the white ones.
Oh, man.
Who are you playing Sunday?
We have got West Ham.
Ooh, that's a very winnable game.
And they're safe. Yeah, they're safe. So they've no dogs in the race anymore. So
Watford have Arsenal, which could go any fucking way.
Yeah, well, no, I reckon Arsenal do. I reckon Arsenal need a response from because they weren't great against us. In fairness, like we were actually the better team.
They blew themselves out between the Liverpool and the City match.
Yeah, they did. They had a bit of a hangover from that, but like so that's anything. But we were Villa were actually the better team on the day. We deserved to win. So,
and I would love Watford to go down just because of Troy Deeney's fucking shit hawkery during it. Like, it's just payback, isn't it? Like, you didn't want to play out the league. You were pitching a moan about it, and now you're going to go down. Nigel Pearson gets the sack. It's just falling apart, isn't it?
Yeah, I like Nigel Pearson.
Yeah, like, everywhere he's gone, he's kind of, it's ended horribly for him, hasn't it? Like Leicester.
Yeah, I think he's a good manager to an extent. Like he's never going to win the Premier League, but he's
I often wonder how he keeps getting jobs though. He seems to fucking go out in a ball of flames every time.
He picks dangerous jobs. That's the thing. He doesn't take a top of the playoff team and get them relegated. He takes a team that's fighting relegation, keeps them up for one season, and gets them relegated the next season.
But what did he take over Leicester after Ranieri? Yeah, wasn't it? Was he Leicester manager? And wasn't it his son and all was involved in that shit over in Thailand or something? Pre-season. Or I could be completely fucking wrong there.
No, he did take over some. I don't know if it was Ranieri though. Well, again, I could be wrong. Yeah, I can't remember. Like, again,
Alzheimer's.
Yeah, it's not weird.
So what? Yeah, so you think he'll stay up anyway? What do you need? What ways it work mathematically?
Right, so
you lose and Watford lose, you stay up.
Yeah, if we win,
Bournemouth gone or not?
The Bournemouth are 3 points behind us and Watford. So if they win and they're a point behind, the good thing about Villa is that now we're a goal different. We're playing a good, one +1 over the other two because they're both 27. So if Bournemouth win 2-0, yeah, Bournemouth win 2-0 and we lose. No, Bournemouth win 1-0 and we lose 1-0 and Watford lose 1-0. Bournemouth would be tied with Villa. Watford would be gone down, but then it goes to goals for.
Right.
And then we have more goals than both of them. Right. We should be all right. If we win, we're golden.
Who are Bournemouth playing?
Bournemouth have Everton.
Another nothing game for Everton.
No, that's true, but you can't see Bournemouth going.
It can go any fucking which way, can't it? And then you have the Champions League spots. You have Chelsea are playing Wolves. That's a tough game.
Yeah, they need to.
You have United playing Leicester, and Leicester.
Reckon United do them.
Well, Leicester need to win.
The United need to not lose.
Yeah, no. United and Chelsea both need draws. If they both get a draw, they're guaranteed Champions League.
Yeah.
Interesting. Like that's what you're looking for in the last day, isn't it? You're just looking
when it's still open, because there's like what 3 teams that are still.
Yeah.
Like potentially, and with Villa, like we've done well. We beat Palace, draw with Everton, beat Arsenal. So we found a form at the right time, but because it's Aston Villa, if I won't be comfortable until the next day. So if we win that match 2-0, I won't fully believe it until I won't fully believe it until Monday about 12 o'clock. We go, so we could go out there and we could win that game 2-1, 3-1, 3-0, or we can also lose it 1-0 or lose it 2-1 or lose it 3. It literally is up in the air. So I'm hoping
every permutation available there. It could be 1-0, 2-0, 1 all 3 of.
Yeah, but that's because anything could happen. So it is. I reckon. I reckon a draw could do us, because I don't see Watford beating. I don't see Watford beating Arsenal, and I don't see Bournemouth beating Everton by more than 2 goals. So I reckon a draw would be good. But we want, like what we did against Arsenal, and this is what kind of, it was a slightly bit annoying. It was good, but it was annoying because we went 1-0 up and kept attacking. Whereas all the other games we were going 1 up and then just trying to hold on to a 1-0 win from 25 minutes in, like, and losing 3-1. We're just trying to sit, get all the players behind the ball and just sit there and just, soak in the defences. Whereas against Arsenal, we just kind of took it to them, and we could have won 2 or 3-0. I know they hit the post, but we had Keenan Davis had a great chance, and I think Jack Grealish had a decent effort as well. So, we were good value for that. We were the best team on the day. We were good value for that win. So if we can take that into West Ham,
he's had to fight for our lives, and West Ham have kind of they had a rocky return. But they kind of found a bit of form. They got a few wins. They eased out of that bottom 3.
And they want to finish on the high as well. They want to maintain that run they had.
And Antonio has been playing very well. Noble's been playing well in a couple of games I've seen him. So it's a tough game as well. But do you know what? I'd rather be playing them than fucking Arsenal or Everton.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. So again, if you going to me head, I'd say 2-1 Villa. But I wouldn't put more than a 10 on it.
Wouldn't bet the house on it, no?
Yeah. So let's go back to the thing you were talking about. Maybe we're going to jump into it. Jordan, the John Connors thing. You said, do you want to hear a bit of controversy about it, or the conspiracy end of it, or something like that?
Oh, that was the BLM thing. No, or the George Floyd thing. At the same weekend that happened with George Floyd, I think there was 2 or maybe 3 other instances around the world. I think one was in France, one was in Italy, and there might have been another one somewhere else, of the exact same scenario. A black man being arrested by a cop with his knee on his neck. Exact same scenario. Now, didn't get any traction. Didn't get any fucking, it was like, if you delve into the conspiracy end of it, they were looking for one incident to spark the race riot. They got one, you know what I mean, in the George Floyd thing. But if you look into the George Floyd end of it, I don't know if I've gone into this before, but apparently he knew the copper. So him and Derek Chauvin worked together in a nightclub, and the nightclub was known criminal place that there seemed to be a lot of counterfeit money and stuff used to run through there. So if you take that, there was counterfeit money running through this establishment, and then it's closed down during the fucking COVID lockdowns, and then you have a guy who's on what was he on? Fentanyl.
Yeah, meth.
Fentanyl. He goes out to use one of these fucking fake $20 bills. He goes to cash it or whatever. He goes to buy something in the shop, and he's bringing heat down on this criminal organization that him and the cop are both work in the same establishment that it operates out of. So, and then he gets the call, or fucking so-and-so's after they've been using the counterfeit money, he goes, bollocks, better go down, fucking snuff this out, kills the guy. You know what I mean? It's like one of them fucking cheesy bleeding action movies. You know?
Yeah,
but yeah, that's just the conspiracy end of it. Come here, I'm just gonna bang on the light here. It's how to get back. Right. Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, so is there any kind of evidence for that, or is it just he say, she say, hearsay?
No, well, this goes deeper. You won Illa Omar, who's like a senator or a congresswoman or something out of Minnesota, yeah, or Minneapolis, whatever. Apparently she's been getting loads of immigrants from like Somalia into the city, and they've been running like Chinese counterfeit money through this business. She's been getting a lot of. Apparently, the guy who owns the strip club that they worked at has given lots of donations to her and shit like that. This is all pure conjecture. It's from months ago. I don't remember most of the details, but apparently a lot of the riots that started was a lot of the Somali immigrants that were going around starting the riots. Oh, Jesus, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no, there was a lot more to that day than just, fucking police brutality.
And who would have been the ones that were, you're saying there was like 5 or 6 scattered throughout the world?
Yeah, so there was an incident. I don't know, there was an incident in France where a guy had a copper lane on his neck, and another one, I think it was in Italy. So like 3 or 4 pictures, basically the same story popping up. Now, if people want to look into fucking some really heavy shit, go and check out Larry Gators, who talks about like the black nobility, so basically the black Illuminati in America and stuff like that. But he goes into this whole thuggy society. It's like an ancient assassin's order from India, and when you type that into Google, you see.
You sent that to me, that link, and it didn't play. The video was gone.
The video
was gone, yeah.
Well, go and check it out. Just type in thuggy life into Google, and then
dub life,
and then dub life, download it, and we'll get all the royalties for that. Yeah, no, there's conspiracies, Can I prove it? No. Do I believe?
And that's the thing with me with conspiracies.
Am I interested in it? Hell yeah.
The thing with me with conspiracies is like they're interesting. Like, but they're.
But when you see that Derek Chauvin and fucking George Floyd walk together, so they knew each other. Well, that for me, that's right. This needs to be investigated. Why is that not being talked about? You know what I mean? Like if you walk out down the road and you get murdered by a cop now, all right, cool, right? That was fucking a random act of cop violence against fucking a fella. You know what I mean? But if it turns out that then you worked with that guy at a strip club for the last 2 years, and you knew each other and you didn't like each other, you know what I mean? It's like, well, that's a whole other element that we need.
And is it documented though? Is that? Yeah. So that's all documented though.
Yeah. So the woman who ran the fucking strip club or whatever came out and spoke about it. Apparently.
That's very apparently like so. Because it would really.
This is probably the one element of it that I can say for a certainty was the two of them knew each other and worked together.
Yeah, and that's anything. So I'd say the media would suppress that because it does kind of kill the BLM. The whole point.
It's not a random act of police brutality. It's not
a random act of racism, because that's what the BLM thing is. It's about police brutality against blacks. So if it's like again and randomly, so like if there's a personal element to it, it kills that whole narrative.
Well, it opens up another topic of discussion. We need to.
No, but it kind of it renders all the other stuff, the riots and all that stuff. It renders all that like that was just.
Well, so that's not why they're rioting anymore, anyway. So.
No, I know what I'm saying is, but like even the excuse, and then to kind of use that to go further.
Well, anyone you'd say that to would say, yeah, but it's systemic racism and this has happened too many times. So that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. But for me,
everyone that talks about that systemic racism bollocks, not one of them has ever given a decent, not one. Like, I've never heard one.
Me, if that's the hill you're going to die on, if that's the straw that broke the camel's back for you, and the facts don't add up in it, like you know what I mean? Hold on a minute, what the fuck is going on? Is it all stage?
It's bad for the narrative, so that's why probably that element of the story hasn't been widely visible.
And maybe another interesting conspiracy thing. We're here Friday night.
Terrorist conspiracy corner, let's go.
Pentagon released, so they've what do they call them? The aerial. They have some weird name for the UFO division. So apparently an ex-Pentagon official who worked in the UFO division said they're going to declassify some documents, and I think they're given every 6 months. They're given I don't know who they speak before, some committee, and they give all their evidence on UFO activity and information and all. So apparently this drop is going to be off-world vehicles, so vehicles not of this earth that have been discovered and are basically being put back into storage now. So they've probably been studied or whatever, and now they're being put back into storage. So now they're releasing this information to this committee maybe tomorrow or this week or something. So off-world vehicles not of this earth. Not interested, not even tickling it. These are no, this is official. This is not bullshit, like.
No, but you understand that, but look who's saying it. Again, like, this is the conspiratorial side of me, is that why now? After fucking 50 years.
Did you not get your calendar for 2020? Did you not get your calendar for 2020? Outbreak, civil war, UFOs.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, that's what I mean. So is it like
the aliens?
Is it just a distraction? Yeah. And again, because there was a lot of people, like, and again, because I've seen memes going on about that, so the conspiracy theories are going to be all over this as well, like saying like, "You fucking told us." Well, again, I just seen them as memes and they're funny, but it was kind of called that the next thing is aliens, and that's what I mean. Like, so what? But like, do you reckon it's just another distraction? Like maybe this whole fucking George Floyd thing has got out of hand for them. And like obviously the whole thing was
I don't think it's got out of hand. I think the BLM thing it's losing.
No, but it was going to be used against Trump.
Yeah. Well, here
there's a lot of support.
I was thinking about Trump coming out with the face mask thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's done a roundabout turn as well. The experts are saying it, so that's good enough for me. I think what he could be doing is, so they're trying to do this mail-in ballot thing in America, so they don't want you to go out and vote because it's too dangerous. Well, if it's safe to wear a mask and it stops the spread of the virus, and he's come out supporting the mask and saying wear the mask if you need to wear the mask, when they come back and say, oh no, we can't do voting booths, we have to do mail-in ballots, he's going to say, oh no, but just wear a mask. And then they'll have to either admit the masks don't work or accept that they're not doing mail-in ballots. Now, this is just me. Well, I wonder is that what he's doing?
Well, no, what I was saying about the aliens part of it was because, like, because in the whole riots and stuff was kind of a trap to kind of make Donald Trump look bad, because they kept bringing Donald Trump into it. He didn't do anything. But
he knows the aliens.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, but what happened was, it seems that like the silent majority is real, and that like Trump is going to fucking landslide over this, over the riots, over all this shit. They made their move, and it didn't work. And it's they've fallen this into Trump's hands. So all the suburbanites, they're weird Democrats and all, they're all going to vote for Trump now. You know what I mean? Like, so, but they probably thought that it would cause so much unrest.
Kanye.
And he'd be sectioned before that. Like, he's off
playing his arse there last week.
He's not trying.
I have to say,
it's not funny. It's not funny either. Like, but I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
some of the shit he's saying is brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah, no, I understand, but he's absolutely off his meds.
Put it together properly, and it makes it very difficult for the average person to take it serious. he starts mentioning different things. You're one Harriet, the fucking slave saver or whatever.
Harriet Tubman.
Yeah, and he just kind of swipes it out without really explaining why he swipes it out and you know what I mean? It's like, oh, that's your hero. Let me tell you a little bit about her. I'm all about that. It's just the way he says it. You know what I mean?
And again, it's the messenger as well.
Yeah,
you know, it's like me, the whole David White thing. You know what I mean? Like when he's telling me that like he met Jesus, that's how he kind of came to this conclusion, is that because God.
No, he became the Christ consciousness.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
Different.
Sorry, yeah, that's much better.
For those who know, but you know what I mean. So that's the sort of shit. I go, all right, fair enough. So again, a lot of stuff he'll say is true. But in fairness to David Icke, he didn't say he was God. He says we are all God. We are all gods.
But he got a visit. He got a visit.
But he at the time, that was the fucking 90s or earlier, like the 80s, 90s. He didn't present his message very well. It was like he was overwhelmed by the ideas that he had and couldn't express them properly. We see a lot of that in Kanye. He's not prepared. Somebody should have took him aside, briefed him for weeks on end. Here's your talking points. Here's the way. You know what I mean? Like literally go into training. This is how you need to speak. This is how you need to present your point. This is when you need to take a pause. This is when you need to highlight this. And brought out as fucking facts, because a lot of what he's saying, Planned Parenthood in the fucking black communities is destroying. A lot of what he's saying is on point, but it's presented so like, I'm going to start a new party called the birthday party because every day I'm in a president is going to be like a birthday party. What the fuck are you talking about? What, you know what I mean? So his presentation is terrible, but some of what he's saying. But again, it's sad. It's actually sad because I mean he made the graduation and the college dropout. Jesus walk still gets fucking placed.
Man, so he actually threw the wire on the card today. Actually, such a tune.
Like you see, even on Sky Sports and all, and like fucking they had some of the tunes playing for the presentation, and it was like, that's a banger. That's a Kanye West banger. Like, and I'm not
the college dropout. Is it the fourth one? What's the fourth one? State registration, is it? No. College dropout.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
But the fourth one that he dropped, we went through the wire and all. Went through the wire and all in it. Like, that's a play through album, and there's very few of them. You know what I mean? But that's a play through album. Like you just stick that on, you could just drive and just listen to every single. So he was again. But as soon as he started getting into all that 808s nonsense and start thinking he was fucking
still bangers on there, but no.
Oh yeah, no, he missed me, but I just thought I heard one too. I was like, right, that's it, wrote off for me. Because even that happened by Eminem, something consistent. When I listened to a couple of Eminem stuff, and then when he done the whole the horrific Trump thing, I was just like, nah, sorry, done. But I have been trying to get back into a bit of Eminem because like used to go. You know what I mean? Like, so I still listen to how he puts words together. But for a good while, not because I think the thing what annoyed me was he was Mr. Still don't give a fuck, and now he's Mr. Oh, agree with me politically or you're not my fan. You know, that sort of way you're. You know what I mean? No, I don't give a fuck, but I do care about this, and this. So therefore, you must. And it's like, you know.
In fairness, he jumped on the whole promote black equality before it really blew up. So
I'm not talking about that. No, because I mean, obviously, he grew up black at the time.
I'm sure he felt, personally himself, that he had to, like, he was. This was one thing that annoyed me about him. He was so anti-Bush, but he was so pro-Obama. That's like, oh, is it just because Obama's black? Like,
yeah, absolutely. Because when you criticize him, it's because Obama's black, not because of his policies. Because he's black. Like, that's the thing. This is me with the whole racism thing.
His presidency was horrendously fucking.
Nothing. He done nothing. Done absolutely nothing. And people keep coming in.
He's a great speaker. You know what I mean? This. Like, all right. That's
the thing. He's good at making people think that. Although the one thing I will give Obama for now, I'm giving the game away now, but I think it's all right. I've used it on enough people. That just how I again remember because my whole anti-Trump thing. Like I'm anti-Trumpers because I just find them all to be just fucking mindless morons. So when they used to have the whole Trump is racist argument, and they used to always say, well, okay, well, tell me how he's racist. And then they'd always go straight onto he hates Mexicans. So then you have to explain to these fucking morons about he's a president and therefore has to be against illegal immigration. It's not racism. And then they'll say it is. So what I used to do was just have the party trick, and I would say to my phone, so take it and say, well, you tell me this is racist. And I read out this, like, we need to protect our borders, yada, 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 yada. And I say to them, is that racist? And they'd say, yeah. And I'd say, you sure? I go, of course it's racist. And I'd say, okay, fine, that's Obama from 2005. Do you think Obama's racist? And no, I said, you see, but it's a presidential thing. You have to be anti-illegal immigration because it's illegal. So you have to be against it. Now, Trump campaigned on it. I get that, but that's because it's a hot point amongst the citizens. But you're telling me that I read something there, you thought it was Donald Trump and it was racist, but then when you find out that the words haven't changed, just who said it, and now you're trying to tell me that it's not racist, and that's why I don't fuck with you. That's why I just find this odd to me. And it's, like, I think probably 95% of the people, and I've used that a lot of people, that has said it was racist, and then someone else says, oh well, Obama said it, well then it's not racist. And they're saying, there you go, you're a fucking idiot. And that's how you know not to fuck with these idiots anymore. Like, and then they go and
and I've been telling you that. I don't know why you engage. I don't know why you
engage.
No,
I do. I engage for them sort of moments. Like, just to kind of, like, you walk them into a corner and then watch them flap. Watch them lose. Yeah, watch them lose and then continue thinking the same way. Prove them wrong and watch them toddle off and still think the same way. Because again, there's a refusal to believe in the wrong. So it's a great say as well, because I always get people saying it to me as well when I say that there's a refusal for people to admit they're wrong, and I go, would you like that as well? And I'm like, well, clearly not, because listen to our tunes back in the day. I was a lefty, not anymore, like, you know what I mean? Because I've changed my mind, and this is the whole thing about it's not racist.
I feel like I've fairly stayed on point from beginning to end. I've hated everyone equally.
Well, no, I have. But I used to be all kind of like anti-corporations and all, and then when you kind of watch people from that side make their point, you go, do you know what? Yeah, and then you listen to what's your rebuttal to that? Oh my God, fucking fascist! Oh my God, white supremacy, patriarchy. Yeah, fuck off.
The shit that annoys me.
They have a better point.
The corporations now, it's nearly got to the point where they started supporting these protests, whatever it was. They wanted to feel like, you know, we're on the people's side. Blah. Now it's almost like they're funding them. It's like they're sponsored. Like, this protest is brought to you by Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? That's kind of where it's getting to. And a lot of these certainly these big tech companies are fucking left, loony, liberal nut jobs. You know what I mean? So when it comes to the corporatocracy, I've never really supported that anyway. So I don't think I've changed. I don't really feel like I've changed my position over the years, because I'm not right wing, or I was never too liberal. I was always like, man, live and let live. Stop telling people what they need to do, what they should be doing, and stop people blind.
Can I just say as well? I'm like that as well, but that's why people like. I consider myself a centrist, right? Because again, pro-gay marriage and all that stuff. I like pro-gay adoption, and I've a load of things. I'm atheist, so I've loads of things that the right don't like. So they won't let me in. And then the left, because I'm all like pro-free speech, I'm on the fence with abortion. I'm kind of more pro-life than pro-choice. But I see both sides.
This late-term abortion shit, that's horrific. It's horrific, you know what I mean? Like, literally late-term abortions, they're kids.
It's more infanticide. Yeah,
that's what I mean. In saying that, I don't know enough biologically, spiritually, whatever way you want to look at it, from early term abortions or anything. I don't know. There's so many different aspects, a woman's choice, all that. There's a lot comes into, if you don't want to have a baby and you're having a baby, well, there's a lot of fucking responsibility comes with that. So should you have one, just to have one? Yeah,
this whole the choice is like, you've had lots of choices.
Yeah, come here, say, like, for argument's sake, a 14-year-old girl is raped.
But then you make that illegal. So you make them abortions out. Because I used to always make that point.
Right, so that is illegal. So after the fact, what does the woman, you know what I mean? Does she have?
No, that's what I mean. When you do the abortion legislation, because again, when I was having these kind of arguments, when I was having these discussions with people and they're saying that, and that's what you always go to. Oh yeah, but what if you're like a child who gets raped by their dad and they're pregnant? Oh yeah, abort it. So let's just put that into legislation.
Yeah,
that happens.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? And they're going, so you're happy with just leave it then? Well, no. Then why are you bringing that up?
Yeah, that's my moral position on it. Is like that side of it I can understand, and it's like, yeah, come here. No one needs them fucking circumstances in their lives, but then there's the other side of it,
write that into the legislation.
Harvesting children's organs and their late-term abortion and all, man, that's murder, like.
That's what I mean, yeah. Like the whole, like in America, it's like up to birth. In some states, up to birth.
They changed that in New Zealand as well. You're one who's such a fucking great bleeding prime minister. She sneaks in late-term abortions,
and so it kind of leads back to the whole abortion, because there's always these far lefties that are doing it. And they hold this kind of mantra of, oh my God, this guy was a slave owner, you know, pull the statue down. This company this guy said something that was racist. You know, boycott the company, shut that company down, fire him, shut this company down, boycott. And then when you tell them about the plan, the kind of the birth, for, you know, excuse the irony, of Planned Parenthood, and you say to them, well, do you know who the woman was? Do you know how racist she was? Do you know why she started it? So that do you know why the 60% of them are in black, you know, areas?
That's where I agree with Kanye. That's where I agree with him.
No, but what I'm saying is, so then when you hit that with the
man, fucking,
yeah, it's like, oh, that's what that's seriously.
Man, there's still slavery going on in Libya. Why aren't you bringing? Oh no, fucking. There's Uyghur Muslims in China being taken off the concentration camps and having their organs harvested. Oh, China don't want to know. Fuck that.
Because you can't, because China is the communists, and so are they. So you can't. But you know what I mean. But it's like, but you know what I mean. So people,
okay. Did you not?
But this is what I'm saying. Like, so this selective rage, that when it benefits us or our agenda, it's fine. We don't mind about racism and we don't mind about all that. But yeah, take that statue down. But you're like, well, you might offended by that statue last month. Oh yeah, but now we are, take it down. That's that Kill a Mockingbird, take it down. But would you not go to the Planned Parenthood, take it down because it was run by a racist lady who designed it solely to kill black kids, like, you know, and kills like something like 600,000 of a year. So is that not a BLM matter? No, it's not. So okay, so founded by racists, put in predominantly black neighborhoods to predominantly kill black babies or stop black people from, you know, growing. That's fine because you're pro-abortion. So it's okay to be racist foundation then, but everything else is. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, this is what I'm saying. They set up all these rules for everybody, and then when it doesn't suit them, they just ignore it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
you could probably go down the rabbit hole with the likes of Planned Parenthood and all these child protective services, and when you start looking at the FBI list of paedophile logos and stuff like that, and you start seeing these logos in all these fucking Planned Parenthoods, in the logos, in like the fucking RSPC, you know what I mean? And you start looking at the people behind it, like even one of the leaders of BLM is like a paedophile.
Yeah, seen that. Leader of Antifa in Ireland is a paedophile.
But in America as well, like.
One of the leaders of Antifa was, I think the big ones in America as well, was a paedophile as well.
Oh, sorry, the Antifa in Ireland, your man. I can't remember his fucking name.
Yeah, he's paedophile. And he's still active with them, and they're all still rocking away with him. Like. So but they're pushing the alcohol paedophile agenda. They're meant to be the
arbitrators of morality.
No, but see, they're pushing the that's true. It's that because they're pushing the whole, what's a MAPS? Male, what's it?
Minor
attracted person.
Yeah,
minor, so you're not gay, or you're not gay, you're MAP.
Which is the whole fucking map porn thing with your man Roderick, you know what I mean? It has a sinister undertone, like.
You know, he could turn around and say, oh, I shared a picture of a map.
I just love geography or fucking something, yeah, I know.
Okay, fine, but if I was to make an innuendo-ish style gay joke towards you, you wouldn't find that same sort of, because people were criticizing you and weren't even bringing your sexuality into it, and you found homophobia. So imagine I done what you did, MAPS. Imagine I done that to you in that context. You would look at how we look at what you've just done. So explain yourself. You know what I mean? Like
I feel like we keep looping back to the same subject. We're just going around this fucking loop on the same subject. People must be getting pissed off listening to these same fucking things.
They love it.
When are we ever going to talk about music, for fuck's sake?
Okay, so what songs do you like now, sir? Then again, what's talk about music? I don't think people care about our opinion on
No,
music.
yeah. We're like that. Do you know the way you feel about like your celebrity, your sports figure or something, and they have a political opinion? Like, just shut up and fucking kick a football. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I don't care. I don't want to hear you. Now, saying that, like, we are looking into doing some reaction videos and stuff for that as well. Once we get
What kind reaction to what? Music.
Yeah, we like the new Eminem tune, whatever. We can react.
Yeah.
As I mean, or like some funny videos, or whatever that, or you know,
at some stage we're going to be doing these live, not live, but
together
in the same space.
Socially distanced, though. Don't you worry, guys.
So
yeah, so that's the plan. So when we start doing that,
I think there's probably a way if you can do the share function here, and we could probably record fucking reaction videos like this. We'll look into it.
No, but we better off just waiting until we.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure if we ask someone out there, they'd probably be able to explain it or something. If that's what the people want.
Yeah, you know, they keep telling us. So they also keep telling us how great we are and won't give us any content. No, so yeah. Well, we'll think of that. That's probably the hour there anyway.
I've no idea.
Yeah, we never check it. That's another thing as well. It's not one of us go, right, it's now 9:04. Let's go. We just start talking and we go, when we fucking start this? This could be an hour and 20 minutes. Like, I don't know.
It's in fairness, they've all been in around the same time, so we kind of get pissed off with each other's opinions around the same time every time.
That is very true. You can only take about an hour and a half of terrorists before you need a joint.
So what do you think? Do you think probably the next one we might get a guest in, or?
Yeah, I have a guest in mind. I'm going to get back on to him. But I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Yeah. Like that. If anyone has any suggestions of people you think you might find interesting to fucking chat bollocks with us for an hour or so, by all means.
Jeebus gave us a good show. He was talking to me about someone the other day.
Who?
You like him. I can't think of his fucking name now, but we did Jeebus' show. Right. I'm so bad with names. That's why I'm not leaving.
Do you know your man?
I'm not going to tell you.
Your man with the hair and.
Yeah, people think it goes, oh, Reg is not going to tell us the guest to tease us. I forgot his motherfucking name, you know. So we have a couple of guests going to ideate up and try to make it as entertaining for you as we possibly can. Just stop you listening to Terror all the time because he's a fucking melt. I mean, I have loads of jokes that I could be throwing in there, but he just keeps over talking me.
Man, I'm just trying to use this as a segue into my own conspiracy fucking podcast.
Yeah, but you're depriving them of all my wonderful puns, like.
Yeah, that's what the world needs.
So anyway, folks, on that one.
Yeah.
Cheers. Have a good weekend.
We'll see you. 5.
Yeah, possibly with the guest, the secret guest. Ooh.
Yeah. See you. Peace.